Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to The Exchange. I'm Rebecca Saran, and David is continuing on his week off, and we're very pleased to welcome back Bill Boggs.
Hi, everybody. It's nice to be back. You look great today.
Thank you.
I like that color. Thank you.
Okay. Now, you took a day's hiatus.
Yes, I wasn't here for the Olympic show. Did that go okay yesterday?
That went well, yeah. It was kind of fun to talk about the Olympics. You know, after all of this hype for 4 years for the Summer Olympics.
It's going to happen now.
Yeah, we're getting down to the wire, so it's nice to...
I'm not going to emerge from my house. I've got the whole service and everything. No, I'll come back. I'll come out about 2 weeks, 20 pounds heavier and with no muscle tone. But I've seen the Olympics. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, in fact, we're going to be giving away the full 2 weeks to the individual that answers our trivia question today correctly. So tune in a little bit. In about 2 minutes, I'll give you that question. But first, we're going to talk a little bit about...
I actually have a question for you.
You do?
Yeah, well...
I'm not used to that. I'm used to asking
questions.
Well,
it's obvious that Dave Smith is not here. He's away this week. And there have been some sightings of a man in a bat suit at night wearing a cape fighting crime between Norwalk and Westport.
Yes.
Do you think there's any link between Dave Smith's absence and this? Do you think that Dave Smith could be the Fairfield Batman?
I don't know.
Is there any possibility?
Is that like an Elvis sighting?
Dave Smith, does he like to wear armor?
I don't know. I haven't seen him in his off hours, but perhaps that's true. Anyway, a little bit about you, because you, as we had said on Monday, have been involved with television for many years, but you're doing radio now, too.
Well, I have a radio show on WNLK in Norwalk and WGCH in Greenwich. It's on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. It's called, what is it called? Bill Boggs' Corner Table with Ishbel Burnett. And I hope everybody will listen in this Saturday. That's
right, and your partner, Ishbel, is going to be on the program later this week,
right, she's going to be making a summer pudding on Friday afternoon.
Oh, that's good.
Get ready.
Okay. Well, on today's program, we have the woman who knows the most about etiquette and manners. Letitia Baldridge joins us, and she has written many books on the subject. She was also the chief of staff for Jacqueline Kennedy during the Kennedy years in the White House.
Historic Camelot period. We also have race car champion Scott Sharp, who is from Norwalk, and his partner, Jack Baldwin, and there's a big race at Lime Rock this Saturday. And what else do we have? In cooking, we're going to be going bananas today. Everything that you could possibly make with bananas. What else? And we're also going to talk about hairstyles for men with Frederic Fekkai, and also a gentleman who's become very well known in the area of storytelling. And George Garrett is with us, and he has a brand new book that has come out, and these are a series of essays, many having to do with his own life. Now, I saw him in the green room. This man looks like the kind of person who would tell you a great story.
Does he?
He has that demeanor. Also with us today is Earl Mendel, who is a vitamin authority. He actually wrote a book called The Vitamin Bible. And I think we should get into the question.
You're into this, aren't you?
Yeah, well, we do that on the radio show, whether or not vitamins can actually help prevent or even cure diseases. And that's what I want to ask him right out of the starting blocks.
The two of you guys have to bring me over to your side.
You last took a vitamin probably 18 years ago, right?
Well, I take vitamins, but I eat all this junk food. I don't know why.
Maybe the vitamins offset the junk food.
I hope so.
What did you have for breakfast?
I had a donut and I had a Coke.
Congratulations. I'm working with somebody on a sugar high.
I'm so embarrassed.
How about lunch yesterday?
I had a Burger King Ocean Catch.
Mrs. Paul. Very good.
That's terrible. We have to move along before...
A quiz?
No, our quiz, our trivia question today. Name the Summer Olympic sport which is the only major game created in the United States without its roots deriving from another sport. Okay? Give us a call at 849-1313 between 12 and 1 o'clock when we're live.
Or 1 o'clock. If you're a wabbit.
It's all that junk food. And you will win the 2-week triple cast.
Yeah, 2-week triple cast.
The full package you will receive.
You get to stay home for 2 weeks.
And
24 hours a day.
And you get the guide, the triple cast guide, and a bonus today, you get this nice sports shirt. How's that?
Is that large enough for you? Sorry, give us a call with that question.
Absolutely.
That answer, rather.
And now it's time for the local news, and we have Corinna Lamb. She's standing by with that. Corinna?
Thanks, Becky and Bill. Good afternoon, everyone. Secretary of State James Baker says he's not going to replace Dan Quayle on the Republican presidential ticket. Baker denied the rumors during a visit to Egypt today. He also says he's not planning on leaving his job to work on the Bush-Quayle re-election campaign. Baker says any changes will first be announced by former Greenwich resident President Bush. In other news, Norwalk police say customers at a city massage parlor were getting more than just rub-downs. Detectives say they uncovered a prostitution ring at La Connexion Française, a parlor operated out of an apartment on County Street. Police say the business advertised in local papers and catered to more than 100 clients. Detectives seized a detailed client list and arrested 4 suspects. A New York newspaper reports hotel queen Leona Helmsley is still getting the royal treatment even though she's in prison. According to the New York Post, the Greenwich homeowner is illegally paying another inmate to be her maid. Helmsley has denied those allegations through a spokesman, saying she makes her own bed every morning. Helmsley is serving a 4-year sentence at a federal prison in Danbury for tax evasion. Now let's take a look at the weather. This afternoon, look for mostly sunny skies, highs 75 to 80. Tonight should be partly cloudy with a low of 60 to 65. And tomorrow we'll have cloudy skies with a chance of showers, highs again 70 to 75. That's what's happening. We'll have more for you tonight on News 12. Now back to Becky and Bill.
Thanks, Corinna.
Thanks.
Now we have a winner on the line. Hi, who's calling?
Thomas Figler.
Oh boy, you really missed that. What's your name?
Thomas Figler.
Good
Tom.
afternoon, Tom.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
And the answer is?
Basketball.
That's right.
Terrific. Hey, congratulations. You've won the full 2 weeks of the Triple Cast. We hope you enjoy it.
Thank you.
And
Think we're going to win in basketball this year?
Huh?
You think we're going to win in basketball this year?
Definitely.
I would say.
That's a surefire bet right there.
I'd put money on that one.
Thanks for watching, Tom.
All right.
And we're going to continue with the exchange in just a minute.
We'll be right back.
He rode the victory laps with his dad as a child, and this weekend couldn't do that again. Norwalk's own Scott Sharp, next.
Herbert Klein is not a famous baseball player. He is the best person to see when you need a new mattress.
You'll get the best mattress, the best price, and the best service at Klein Sleep.
Every Posturepedic and Beauty Rest is now half price at Klein Sleep.
Have more fun in bed.
Come on into Klein Sleep this week and have more fun in bed.
Buy your bed at Klein Sleep and have more fun in bed.
We all needed a place to retune our minds and bodies for a long weekend or for weeks on end. That place is Saybrook Point Inn, where your tensions gently ripple away by the sea. Relax in our beautifully appointed rooms or suites. Dine on exquisite cuisine served with a soothing view. Or enjoy one day of indulgence at our spa. Pamper yourself, rejuvenate yourself for one day and a surprisingly affordable price. Come to Saybrook Point Inn. We're a world apart right here in Old Saybrook, Connecticut.
Maybe you don't want to be famous, but there's nothing wrong with being noticed.
Men's clothing is a turn-on. It's not gonna change the world, but let's face it, it's a lot of fun.
If you're looking for
An identity.
come to BFO.
You'll find $575 designer suits for $249. Save your money. Shop at BFO.
Welcome back. I'm Bill Boggs in for Dave Smith, and actuaries will tell you that most young men drive pretty fast, but few go faster than our next guest, Norwalk resident Scott Sharp. Sharp is a defending Trans Am champion who's coming to his home track at Lime Rock Park this Saturday, where he's going to try for his third straight win of the 1992 season. I welcome you, Scott. Also with us is your teammate, Jack Baldwin. Hi, guys.
Hi, nice to be here. Thank you.
Now, no one's really paying close attention. What's the fastest you've ever driven?
Probably would have to be in a car that's a little different than ours. It's a GTP car. It's a real aerodynamic car, and I ran down Daytona. Probably ran about 205 miles an hour.
How about you, Jack?
207.
207? What
He knows right away.
Too wild.
Oh,
I
he's
did
too
it
wild.
this year. I did it
I
this year at Daytona. This
Really?
past season at Daytona, yeah.
I get nervous over 70 on the merit. So, but what does it feel like to be going 207 miles an hour?
It's really relative. When you first start racing and you start going, instead of 70 on the highway, but 140, 150 on the road, you think that's real fast. Once you get used to that, then going 180 is really no big deal. And once you start getting up there, it's really not, you get used to it. And plus, it's really wide. It's not like you're going down a little tunnel like a parkway.
There's not a lot of stop signs
and
and things. Now, I guess most people may think, well, you just jump in the car and drive. How do you train to be a race car driver? What do you do, Jack? You look like you're in good shape, but how do you stay in shape?
Well, you go through the same kind of physical training that you would for other sports. You have to be in very good physical condition to drive a race car well.
Why is that?
Because it's very physically demanding. The heat and the concentration that it takes, the heat that you have to live, in the environment that you're in.
Also the intensity. At Detroit, I had a race that real recently. I ran a heart monitor the whole race, and my heart rate was up around 170, 180 for over an hour.
Just totally
What do
focused.
doctors say about
Mine
that?
didn't
Is
get
that
over
okay?
137, so I don't know.
I think so. I mean, it's basically, if you can't handle it, you need to get in good shape. Basically, most drivers, I think, are on a pretty good cardiovascular type program.
All right, tell us about the race at Lime Rock, because I know, Scott, this is where you started, so this is one of your favorites.
It is. It's the first time in 3 years that the Trans Am Series is back to Lime Rock. And the Trans Am Series is really experiencing one of its most competitive seasons to date. And it's great. I'm really excited to be back at my home track, and I think we've won the last 2 races, and I hope we can carry it over into this weekend as well.
How does this compare to, I mean, I'm a novice at this, but the light Indy cars and then the Indy cars, how does this compare?
Well, basically, Trans Am cars are full body cars, so that we don't have like open wheels like the Indy cars type do. I think you could compare them quite well to like a Winston Cup car, or the big stock cars. We have
Is
the
that
same,
like Richard Petty drives those things?
Right.
Yeah.
Same type of chassis, same type of engine, except our bodies are a little sportier. We have Camaros instead of like Luminas, or Mustangs instead of Thunderbirds, and we race on road courses as opposed to ovals.
Right. Do you get an airbag, by the way, when you drive?
No.
Well, we'd set that airbag off.
No, I know your father.
Usually you're driving.
Your father was a champion driver. Would you want your son to do what you're doing now, theoretically?
I guess I've just started to think about that. I'm not married or not at that stage
Right.
yet, but sometimes I think about how good a spectator I'd be watching my own son out there, and I don't know.
You're blushing
I'm
already.
surprised how my dad was able to handle it.
I have a friend whose son is 24 years old, races motorcycles 150, 160 miles an hour.
That's pretty dangerous.
And he videotapes it. I'd be so nervous.
You don't get much protection with a motorcycle.
No, you sure don't.
No, the helmet's not going to do too
No.
much. 160 miles an hour. I want to ask you both a fantasy question. If either of you could just be given any car that has ever been manufactured, retail, not a stock car, retail, what car would you like to have in your front yard tomorrow morning?
Ooh.
Any
Answer
car
that
that's ever
question.
been made.
Any car.
Yeah, anything.
It's going to have to be some kind of Chevy, I have a funny feeling.
It probably ought to be one of the limited edition Corvettes.
If you say a 1969 Caprice, I'm not going to believe you.
I think I would like to have a brand new 1967 427 Corvette.
Not a bad car. How about you, Scott?
I think I'd probably have to take a real old Porsche Speedster or a Ferrari Daytona.
Isn't that the one that James Dean had the problem in, that Porsche Speed? Be careful. Of course, he wasn't a trained driver. What kind of training actually goes into being a professional driver?
Well, there's so many steps you have to take just to get into it. You have to qualify to even have a professional driver's license. And once you get to that point, we spend, basically, racing's almost like any other sport. The more time you could spend with it, the better you're going to get. If you could go out like a tennis player and race 3 hours, 4 hours every day, you'd be the quickest road to the new Formula One world champion
But you have to have
anyone's
a
ever
track.
seen.
You can't really practice on I-95.
Going testing is very expensive.
How's the competition between the two of you? Because you look like you're very good friends. You're on the same team, but you compete.
It's a really unique experience that both of us have.
Yeah.
We're like great friends, and we're able to really utilize a two-car team. A lot of teams, they have problems, and like the drivers end up hating each other, the crews end up hating each other, and they really can't use it to the benefit where we can. We'll try different setups on our cars in practice or qualifying and figure out, well, this is better here, this is better, his was better there, and we'll try to come up with the optimum setup.
So it's Lime Rock this Saturday?
Yes.
What time? What time will that
Our
be?
race is on Saturday at 2:30. But there's practice and qualifying on Friday, and then the race is on Saturday.
Use the ultra gas in those cars, right?
The good stuff.
The real good, the high tech.
Good luck to both of you. I know you're competing against each other on the same team. It's nice
Great.
meeting
Thank you
both.
very much. Nice to be here.
We'll be back right after this.
That's fun.
This should be
Find out what's politically correct to give as a gift from the First Lady of Manners, Letitia Baldridge, next.
I was hurt on the job, only collecting workers' comp. I didn't think I was eligible for Social Security disability.
You may be entitled to significant disability benefits. The law offices of Binder & Binder have successfully handled thousands of Social Security cases.
I thought I'd have to pay a lot of money up front to hire a lawyer.
No recovery, no fee.
I'm Charles Binder. Call us for your free consultation.
They won my case. Now I'm collecting benefits.
We're telling the viewers about Warehouse Outlets furniture. What about the carpet? Warehouse Outlets has always had a huge selection of room-size carpet remnants of all sizes, qualities, colors, and styles.
What about the bigger jobs?
We have thousands of yards of carpet rolls, or will special order the size you need in any color, style, or quality at no extra charge. Professional installation or sound do-it-yourself advice. Hey, look, linoleum, orientals, bound area rugs, runners, treads, and more. We're proud of our record of service and savings, and it shows. Shop Warehouse Outlets in Bridgeport, Milford, Stamford, and Brantford.
Trying to unburden yourself of a spare refrigerator can be a problem. Leaving it plugged in can cost up to $100 a year on your electric bill. But finding someone to take it off your hands is complicated by environmental concerns. Northeast Utilities wants to take a load off your back and your mind. We'll come out to your house and haul away your spare refrigerator or freezer for free. Just call 1-800-527-4587 for a pickup date.
Well, our next guest is best known as the former Chief of Staff for Jacqueline Kennedy, and she was the Social Secretary to the White House. She's also author of many books having to do with manners and etiquette. Her most recent is The New Manners for the 90s, and we're very pleased to welcome Letitia Baldridge to the program today. We're going to talk about gift giving and the art of gift giving, and is it an art that has faded away, Letitia?
No, it hasn't faded away. I think now that times are tough, people are spending much more time on what they do. They're not spending their money as recklessly. They're really thinking and following it through. And you know, the note that goes with the gift is as important as the gift.
Well,
Very important.
But there are so many different situations we're thrown into in today's world that we were not involved in, say, 15, 20 years ago. The international corporate exchanges.
That's right. The sensitivity to foreign cultures and giving them the right gift. But also, you know, a gift soothes and heals. If you owe somebody an apology, send a gift with it. Like the night I forgot to go to somebody's dinner party when I was the guest of honor.
I'm so glad you do that too.
I sent a gift with a letter of apology. It helps. And anniversaries, and when somebody gets a promotion, and I must say that I'm out here for the Stamford Town Center, which has a beautiful new mall, just beautiful. And the Steuben shop just opened. It is absolutely beautiful.
This is, Steuben is quite a gift.
Oh, talk about having the first quality and American artistry. This is American art. This is a corporate gift, the flag, which was given to General Schwarzkopf and General Colopalo at the end of that war, and was given to Governor Clinton and is going to be given to the King of Spain next week. It's a fabulous, beautiful piece of heavy crystal. And this bowl is beautiful. It's called the Cloud Bowl. And those little crystal paperweights, the shells, are absolutely enchanting. Right, they're under $200 and they're absolutely enchanting. But the mall has all kinds of ideas. The Metropolitan Museum has a shop of reproductions of goodies for wedding presents, anniversary, the candlesticks, and the beautiful wine coaster, and the cashpo with the red tulips, which is a reproduction of an 18th century cashpo. And there's the bath shop in the mall, which gives you body shop rather. It gives you all kinds of goodies to smell good and feel good and from the bath. And Saks has a wonderful hostess gift present, full of goodies, nuts and raspberry jam and chocolate bars, all these goodies. So there's stuff at the mall for people to give as gifts.
I think we're having a microphone problem here.
Oh, we're going to come in and fix your microphone. Here, let me just...
You all right?
That's important. Is that all right?
Because we're live, we might as well get it right, because...
Okay, we're going to fix it now. Let me ask you something, though. The American flag, the Steuben American flag, would you give that... Is that too bold to give, say, if you're doing business with a gentleman from Japan, and it's been a fairly long relationship?
Oh, it's a good gift.
Is that a good gift, or is it too patriotic and too pretentious?
No, it's not. It's very unpretentious. It's very simple, beautifully sculpted. It is a work of art. And anyone could come and see it at the Stamford Town Center, and they could write for a booklet and on Steuben. And it's really a joy to behold it. I'd love to have it on my desk. I think what gifts need today is thought and thinking ahead and getting things inscribed. You know, you can buy a little something and have a wonderful inscription put on it that makes the whole gift zip into something wonderful. Something romantic. I mean, if you send a gift to somebody that you're trying to get to marry you, you can perhaps even win him or her by sending a gift that's inscribed that says the right romantic thing.
Some of us forget that.
There's
I mean, I forget to write a card.
Well, you know what?
Well, that's the whole idea.
That sounds like a
It
card.
really is important. Miss Baldridge, a couple of weeks ago in the New York Times, there was a very nice article about yourself.
Oh, yes,
tea
that
and
was
so
nice.
forth. And there was a
Having
quote
tea.
that really stood out for me in that article. You said, we've gone through 2 generations of people who haven't learned to say thank you, please, or I'm sorry. And I'd just like you to comment, expand about that. Why is it that way, and what do we need to do to improve it?
Well, it's called family. We used to have families. We used to have a dinner table where we all had to sit every night. The children had to sit there and be bored to death, but they learned things. They heard their parents talking. They learned compassion. Everybody talked to one another. Now, the kids come home, the families are broken up often, and the children are being raised by the TV set. You know, don't bother me, go watch TV. And so the manners are not being passed down from generation to generation as they were automatically at the dinner table.
How do you, in your business and in the business world in general, how do you see this evolving into disruptive and unfortunate situations on the professional level?
Well, it's true. In the business, in the workplace, it's showing up. CEOs are appalled to find out that their junior executives who are graduates of the top business schools don't know how to take someone to lunch. They don't know how to stand back and let somebody precede them. They don't send a thank you note for a gift. They don't even send a thank you note to the boss when he gives them a big favor. They don't write letters. There's no personal touch. We're so technologically, do it fast, do it on fax it, get it over with. Cellular phones. I have a cellular phone went off in the middle of Mass in New York a few Sundays ago. And the man took it out of his briefcase and answered it and talked on the phone during Mass. This is what's happening. We don't care anymore. We're getting so technological.
Well, as long as the priest wasn't answering the calls.
No. Then that is a distraction.
that may be the next generation. You never know.
We're seeing so much in this election campaign having to do with family values. And
well, they're all talking.
Is
it
political rhetoric, do you feel?
Well, I don't think with these particular candidates, they all have great families. I mean, all of them do. And I think the more they talk about family, the better, but I think they ought to get down to brass tacks and talk about going back and having dinner. You know, we have this thing, at 10 o'clock, do you know where your children are? Well, I have another question. When was the last time you had dinner with your children and sat down and talked? Parents, families should talk to one another every night. Divorced fathers should come back into the family and talk as a family unit. Mothers who are working, single working mothers, should just make it a priority to talk to their kids and to teach them how to use their forks and knives. You can't live your whole life at McDonald's and Kentucky Fried Chicken using your fingers. You've got to learn how to use a fork and a knife.
But there are many executives, I was reading an article, many executives don't know how to use a fork and knife the proper way.
And they hold their fork like a fist, and they saw their meat as though they were dragging a bow over a cello. And we really have to get back to fundamentals. And it means spending time with your children and turning off the TV. I hate to say it.
No, but that is a large part of it. I'd like to ask you a question in another area. You were introduced as, and I think you first came to public attention as Jacqueline Kennedy's chief of staff. These days, when you see all the trailers for a movie JFK, or when you see the networks promoting a woman named Jackie and all the books and everything, I'm just curious on a personal level how it makes you feel when you see these things, having been so close to the family in the 60s.
Well, at the beginning, it made me so inflamed that my blood pressure went up and I practically would have a heart attack.
That bad?
I got so mad.
So because they so misrepresented her.
So misrepresented facts and accuracy and history. But so much of this has come out in the books. The books are halfway correct and halfway wrong, and no one's going to sue because people are dead and they don't sue. Besides, why give publicity to the authors and make them sell more copies? The movie, JFK, I personally think was a farce. I walked out after 3/4 of it. It was simply ridiculous. I mean, those of us who were there at the time, that just is not the way it was. So we personally feel very strongly that JFK has been misrepresented in history, and his death has been misrepresented.
Well, it certainly was a period of history where there was quite a bit of attention paid to manners and doing things the right way, certainly when it came to Jackie Kennedy and the White House.
Yes. Mrs. Kennedy, and of course the present incumbents have beautiful manners, and everybody in public life who are on the top, they do have good manners, but we've got to get back down to our homes, to our own kids.
Absolutely.
Good advice.
Advice for the
we have
90s,
to.
the new manners for the 90s. Letitia Baldridge, we want to thank you for coming by the program
It's great
today.
to be back
Thank you.
here. I love
We enjoyed
Fairfield
it.
Exchange.
Oh,
You better
thanks.
send a thank you note on this guest.
Okay. Don't let me forget. We're going to be right back.
You like Olympic boxing? You want to see every punch thrown by an American in this year's Olympics?
You bet.
And how about basketball?
Yeah, my dream team.
You want to see every minute of every game they're in?
Sure.
You can watch 33 hours of gymnastics, 58 hours of swimming and diving, 57 hours of track and field.
Wow.
You don't want interruptions, do you?
No.
And you want to see all your favorite events live in their entirety. And you'd want to choose the events you want to watch instead of having the network decide.
I'd like that.
Then you want the Olympics Triplecast. 3 exclusive cable channels, each televising different live events simultaneously with no commercials, 24 hours a day.
How much?
$29.95 a day.
Not bad.
But if you order now, you'll get 15 days for less than $9 a day, a savings of 70%.
That's even better. How do I get the Triplecast?
Call your local cable company now. Hey, where are you going?
I'm ordering the Triplecast.
Call your local cable company for the Olympics Triplecast.
Hi, I'm Norman Barris, President of Goodwill Industries of Western Connecticut, inviting you to discover Goodwill. Last year, Goodwill served over 500 disabled people and employed 121. Discover how you can help by donating clothing, saleable furniture, and household items. Call for free pickup of large items. Also discover incredible bargains at Goodwill stores in Bridgeport, Milford, Monroe, Norwalk, Shelton, Stamford, Waterbury, and Westport. Thank you for discovering how you can help us help people with disabilities.
In the years BC, before cable, television didn't give you much choice, only a handful of channels, and only if you lived in the right place. Then came the dawn of cable. Today, the typical Connecticut cable system offers over 30 programming choices, and there's more to come. We'll add even more channels and keep investing in the kind of innovative programming you've come to expect, and some you haven't even dreamed of yet. Connecticut Cable Television, better than ever.
Well, for years, some of the most well-known women have enjoyed the talents of our next guests, Jodie Foster, Ellen Barkin, Elle McPherson. They have enjoyed the talents as a hairstylist of Frederic Fekkai, but now more and more men are considering having their hair styled, perhaps even colored, and Frederic joins us today. Nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
More and more men are really heading off into the salons and having, whether it's color or cut or style, done with their hair. Are you finding that personally?
I think it's about time, to tell you the truth, Becky, to see that men are really getting a personal attention to themselves. And right now, you're right, they color their hair. It's a product from L'Oreal who is on the market right now, available to the salon. It's an easy application. It's a 5-minute application. It's simple. It doesn't have any fashion shade. It's very men's needs, and it's wonderful to see that.
All right, so this is is this a permanent color, or is this just a color that will wash out, say, in a 6-week period?
It's a color that washed off, and it stayed about 5 weeks, which is wonderful, 5-6 weeks, and it's wonderful. It's really not noticeable. It's very natural. It really brings back to your color without hiding the gray too much.
For years, men, it's been thought, it looked very distinguished with the graying hair. Men are not thinking that way anymore.
Yes, they do, but not every gray man's hair are looking good, and it's very nice to have some camouflage to really get a little more of an intense look, more sophisticated somehow.
What about longer versus shorter? For a while there, we saw the much longer hair. Now we're seeing men with very short hair. What are you finding is going to be the style that's going to set the trend in the fall?
I think that, first of all, everything comes to really sophisticated now. It's elegant. The haircuts are much more classy, much more style defined. It's an influence from the 40s. It's not really the 40s, but it has that look, very, very stylish, and it's absolutely very sophisticated.
All right, one piece of advice for men that are starting to lose their hair, or the hair is thinning. Any recommendations?
you know, just to get a right haircut for themselves and not to try hard to cover the bald area with some nonsense toupee or wigs or anything like that. And if they have implants, it has to be done right, one by one, to look very modern and natural, and not to have something to look too ridiculous.
Well, Frederic, we want to thank you for joining us today with some good advice.
Thank you very much.
And we're going to continue with you with more on The Exchange coming up in just a minute.
When the network Olympic coverage shows boxing,
I want to watch Kim Zemeskal and the U.S. gymnastics team.
when the network's showing the shot put,
I want to watch swimming.
when the network's showing wrestling,
I want to watch diving.
when the network keeps cutting away.
I've got a problem.
Well, now there's the Olympics Triplecast, 3 exclusive cable channels, each televising different live events simultaneously with no interruptions, regularly $29.95. But if you order now, you get 15 days for less than $9 a day.
The Olympics the way I want to see them.
Are you looking for a meaningful way to spend 1 to 2 hours a week? You can become part of a team of professionals promoting quality service for blind and partially sighted persons. As a volunteer for the Board of Education and Services for the Blind, you can assist blind persons in maintaining control over certain aspects of their lives. You may be a reader, friendly visitor, or transportation volunteer. For information, call 579-9500 or 1-800-842-4510.
Cablevision wants to alert you to a serious problem: theft of cable service. Theft occurs when people use illegal equipment or hook themselves up to view programming without paying for it. Part of the problem is that people don't think of cable theft as a crime. In reality, it is as serious a crime as shoplifting. Public hearings on theft of cable service will be held at Norwalk City Hall on Thursday, July 23rd at 3 and 7 p.m. We urge you to attend to learn about theft of cable service, a crime we are all paying for.
Ladies, would you like to learn to sing? Then the Yankee Maid Chorus, a branch of Sweet Adeline's, wants you. This is your chance to learn to sing 4-part harmony and participate in performances complete with choreography and costuming. Shown here at the annual regional competition, the chorus performs for various local groups, as well as putting on our own original murder mystery, Double Talk, for nonprofit organizations. For information, call Karen at 846-9419. The Yankee Maid Chorus wants you.
Join us on Tuesday when we'll present a full hour-long special on parenting in the 90s, the early years.
Welcome back. This year there have been some remarkable revelations about the potential value of vitamins to prevent diseases. We've all been bombarded with magazine cover stories and almost weekly reports on vitamin C, beta-carotene, B12, and so forth. Actually, it takes an expert to know what to do, and we have one with us today. Consumer Health Authority and internationally renowned nutritionist, Dr. Earl Mindell, author of many nutrition and vitamin books. He is here actually with a revised for the 90s Vitamin Bible. Welcome.
It's a pleasure to be here. I'm glad we're being bombarded with this information. It's about time.
Right. Well, what was your reaction to the theory of the antioxidants, vitamin C, vitamin E, beta-carotene in particular, helping to prevent cancer?
The same thing it was 20 years ago when they first came out about it. It's nothing new, but it's nice to see that they finally vindicated
the cover story in Time magazine.
Beta-carotene, which is a provitamin A found in the green, yellow, orange, and leafy vegetables and fruits, is a wonderful preventative against lung cancer. We think possibly even some other types of cancer, and also against heart disease. Vitamin C and E that they talked about can prevent the so-called bad cholesterol from being oxidized, which is very deleterious.
What is this bad cholesterol?
Well, there's good and bad cholesterol. I mean, it's very important to know the difference. And the bad cholesterol seems to be very deleterious to destruction, heart.
Where would that be? Where do we get the bad cholesterol?
The body makes it. The body makes it, or if you take in too much saturated fat.
Saturated fat, right.
But so the vitamin C and E prevent this oxidation of the bad cholesterol.
So even though the scientific community is actually divided on this, you're
not divided.
Well, there are some of the readings, there's not a unanimous feeling.
There never is unanimous. I mean, it's like saying, you know, but should we wait another 30 or 40 years before we?
No, it's not going to hurt us to take the vitamins.
Exactly.
I take them myself, but I'm just saying.
Well, you can't take too many vitamins, though.
Well,
you can.
could
There
take
can
too
be
many.
adverse
You drink
effects.
too much water, but
Right.
anything that's available without a prescription is fine. But the thing that bothers me is all this information is here now. For instance, vitamin C, just 300 milligrams of vitamin C, a UCLA study showed that it actually made men live 6 years longer.
If you start young enough. If you start at age 90.
Well, so maybe only a year.
You're going to take a lot of vitamin C.
You don't care if you made it to 90.
We're talking about the average American is 33, so if they start right now, they're going to live 6 years longer than males, and females about 2 years longer.
What's your theory on, your reaction rather to the old, well, if you eat a balanced diet, 3 meals a day, plenty of leafy vegetables. Why am I talking like George Bush? You'll get the right meal.
Yeah.
No broccoli, though.
My reaction to that is Mary had a little lamb. I mean, it's a nonsense. Your co-host said, what did you have for a donut for breakfast?
Yeah, okay, well, let's just go over this one more time.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you, that the average American is sitting there eating all these junk foods, overweight.
Right. Because it's easy. That's why.
Not only easy, but they're brainwashed into it. You see, I think people take better care of their dogs, cats, automobiles, and rose bushes than they do their bodies.
What's your theory on taking one multiple vitamin a day?
Great, if you want to do that, it's a good beginning. But I want to show you some of the things that we brought. This NRB, this is a B12 nasal gel. This is an incredible product. There's brand new research on this. B12 is a thing that matures red blood cells that carry oxygen to the tissues to give you a real energy boost. This is the biggest problem I get with people.
What kind of research do you have to support the fact that this is good for you?
Well, B12 started in it was first discovered in 1949. It's been around for about 50 years. It's been, it's a last known vitamin actually that has been discovered. And all this is a nasal gel. See, B12 is not very well absorbed by mouth. So they found a way of getting it into the system very rapidly. There's a little tube and just one drop inside of the nostrils absorbed within a minute and a half. And it lasts for 3 days.
I've actually tried this a couple of years ago.
I had it this morning. I came in last night from Los Angeles on a plane, the 3-hour difference. Boom, you start the morning.
I never detected a difference. I mean, I think I was looking that this would be like a big cup of coffee or something.
It's a gradual lift, but it lasts for 3 days and people feel terrific. I call it the caffeine alternative.
But wasn't there actually talking about the old Kennedy days with Letitia Baldridge, wasn't there a doctor, Dr. Feelgood, who was giving people vitamin B12 shots and speed and so forth?
Yeah, in those days.
There's a negative image with B12 a little bit.
Well, no, in those days they were giving vitamin shots, and they would also add amphetamine, which of course is a problem. Today they don't do that, but B12 is still given actually for people who are vegetarians, for women who take the birth control pill, for people who smoke or drink, it's an and also for people who work out. But B12 is something that has been around for at least 50, 60 years.
I think that people generally are confused about this. And there's one thing that makes it even more confusing, because a lot of times you can say, consult your family doctor. The average doctor has received probably less training in nutrition than a talk show host.
That's true.
Because it's just a couple hours in medical school.
Or none.
And the AMA, at this point, still really does not support the taking of multiple vitamins and so forth. They say the verdict is still out.
Well, my verdict is, let's start educating the public.
But how?
How? Yeah. By reading books, by becoming more aware of your body. I think if we took all the concerted effort to educate the public, we could probably save this country $200 to $300 billion a year.
Where would it first start to show up?
Right at the beginning, pre-pregnancy, during the prenatal time. We're still about 16th in the world when it comes to prenatal care. I mean, it's pathetic that we don't even bring mothers who are pregnant into a nutritional formula so they have healthy children.
What about, though, there's an argument that much of what you would take in terms of a vitamin capsule really is not as good for you if perhaps you ate the right foods. Now, I'm not talking just 3 meals a day, but I'm talking about the oranges for the vitamin C, the organ meats, the liver and whatnot for the iron,
and
the B12.
And high, you see, we're talking about that. We're talking liver is high in fat. People don't eat that type of thing, and most of the food we eat is processed. So it would be nice to eat a good diet and take a supplement, and that's what we're talking about for the 90s. And I think in the 21st century that it's going to be a combination. Designer foods is coming out. Wait, you'll see, it'll be coming.
One last question. Becky had a donut.
Yeah.
What did you have
Thanks
for
again,
breakfast?
Bill, for talking about my donut.
But it was a coconut donut.
What did I have for breakfast? Well, this morning I had some different types of fruits. I had whole wheat toast and cottage cheese.
Very good.
Yeah.
You know what I had?
I thought you'd like that.
I had a very lean piece of meat because I ran, I exercised, I swam, I needed protein. Thank you very much, Doctor.
My pleasure, and stay healthy.
Thank
it's
you,
not
Doc.
too late for you.
No, look,
We
she's
can
in better
still
shape
help
than
you.
any of us.
We
I
can
think
still help you.
the woman is doing something right. She
I
has
hope
4
so.
children. She's
I
in good
hope
shape.
so.
We'll be back right after this.
It's 9 o'clock and the Summer Olympics are underway. At Jim's place, they're into boxing. At the Lions, basketball. Peg and Dave's, gymnastics. But how are they watching 3 different events at the same time? Introducing the Olympics Triplecast. 3 exclusive cable channels, each televising different events simultaneously, live with no commercial interruptions. Switch back and forth between events as you please. But to get Triplecast, you have to order the Triplecast. Call this number now. You'll save money, too, because a full day of commercial-free viewing is regularly $29.95. But if you call now, you'll enjoy 15 days for less than $9 a day. That's a 70% savings. So instead of watching just part of the Olympics, you can choose to see it all, live on 3 cable channels. The choice is yours. The choice is Triplecast. Call this number now.
Hi, KB. Who are your friends?
My classmate Ocean. Peace and be happy, man. My teacher, Mr. Plitt. Yeah, he makes class fun. He's cool and he knows lots of stuff. Hey, dude.
Who are not your friends?
Well, there's these 2 guys at school, Jesse and Jeff. Jeff does drugs and he tries to get us to do it too. Jesse thinks he's cool because he hangs out with Jeff.
Hey guys, wanna have some fun?
No, thanks, man.
Yeah, get a life, guys.
Well, some of it's true and some of it is a very carefully woven but entertaining tale. These are just some of the essays and the fables that are part of George Garrett's books. His most recent is Whistling in the Dark, and George Garrett joins us today. He has been the author of some 25 different books. His one that I think many people know him for, the Elizabethan Trilogy, the group, and it's nice to have you here.
Thank you. It's nice to be on the show.
All right, you have to be honest with us now. Where does the fact leave off and the fiction begin in your writings?
Well, this is always a problem in terms when you're working out of memory. The book is about memory, I guess, and you have your own stance about things. You don't deliberately try to tell a lie about something that happened that you witnessed or participated in. But my sisters and cousins and others have said, "Hey, that's all wrong. You got it completely wrong," and this invariably happens. This is where fact and fiction kind of blend together, I think.
Is this how you would have wanted things to go in many ways?
Well, I think sometimes it's how you view the sequence of events, but it doesn't always turn out to be, in fact, that way. If you see, if you have an automobile accident, the eyewitnesses will all describe a different scene.
Different stories.
Although it may involve the same sequence of events.
I went to a high school reunion, and we were telling stories of one time we were arrested in Ocean City, New Jersey for sleeping under the boardwalk when we were teenagers. And everyone had a different story of what happened, including going to jail, which never
Nobody
happened.
went to jail.
Everybody embellishes.
Over the years, they've been embellished.
Now, you write about certain things in certain times in your life, but how did you narrow it down to those specific moments?
Well, I think those had to be the ones that mattered at the time I was writing it. That is, I didn't sit around and think, now I wonder what interesting things have happened to me. Also, I tried to focus as much as I could, because my life hasn't been that interesting. I tried to focus as much as I could on interesting people, like people in the family that were in showbiz or had done something interesting. And I guess the autobiographical element was myself bouncing off of other people in their lives, both historically and now.
Well, you write very much about Princeton, because you that was much a part of your life.
The whole time I was there, they thought I was from Rutgers still. No matter what, I went and bought a Princeton suit and everything else, and they'd still say, "Hey, Rutgers guys, get to the end of the line." You know?
Goodness.
So naturally, Princeton's very important in my
Well,
life.
you tell an interesting tale about Princeton, too. when you were mowing lawns at Princeton?
Oh, you mean, well, I used to do some work for a man named, as a lawnmower yard man for a man named Sax Cummins, who was William Faulkner's editor. And Faulkner would come. I never got closer than outside the bedroom window where they told me to take the hand mower and not run the machine because I was waking up the Nobel laureate. But he once, every time he came to Princeton, Mr. Cummins would ask him, is there anybody in town you'd like to see? And meet. And once, somewhat to Faulkner's, to Cummins' dismay, Faulkner said, yes, there is. Usually he didn't want to see anybody. I said, who would that be? He said, Dr. Einstein. And Dr. Einstein happened to be a real good friend of Cummins, and he was a little nervous about getting this guys together, so he timed it at about 2:30 in the afternoon so that all that could be served would be tea. That would help get through the occasion. And took him over there sort of reluctantly, and they pulled up in front of the house, and Dr. Einstein came running out in the sweater and the hairdo, looking just the way it's like this, you know.
He did always have a bad hair day.
And he came running out to the sidewalk and embraced William Faulkner and said he was very eager to meet him and had been. And then he asked a question that Cummins almost fainted, because he said to Faulkner, now, first of all, tell me, how do you do it? And usually for remarks like that, Faulkner had some very strong put down. Instead, he took it quite seriously. He looked at Dr. Einstein and said, I hear voices. And Dr. Einstein said, isn't that interesting? So do I. And they were great friends.
All good writers hear
geniuses.
voices. I'd like to ask you something on another bent, if you will. You've written a little bit about politics. Everybody is talking about this subject today. Front page of all the newspapers. Do you think George Bush will dump Dan Quayle?
I don't know. I think if he had it, he almost has to. But whether he will or not is another thing. It doesn't look like it's an asset at the moment on the ticket. And if he's half as ruthless as you have to be to get that far, but it's been done before. Roosevelt dropped Henry Wallace and picked Truman. Imagine what it would have been like if he had kept Wallace.
Well, interesting subject perhaps for a future book.
Maybe so.
Whistling in the Dark is the current book, though. George Garrett, the author. True stories and other fables. We want to thank you for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Mr. Garrett.
And we'll be back with you coming up in just a minute.
We'll be whipping up some bananas for some frosty summer drinks just ahead.
This summer, see more of the '92 Olympics than people who make the trip to Barcelona. And this is the only passport you'll need. Call now to find out about the Olympics Triplecast. 3 exclusive cable channels, each televising different events simultaneously, live with no commercial interruptions. No one in Barcelona will be able to see as much. And like any trip, it's best to plan ahead. Call this number now. You'll save money, too, because a full day of commercial-free viewing is regularly $29.95. But order now and get 15 days for less than $9 a day. That's a savings of 70%. So follow the dream team. See America's gymnasts go for the gold. Pick your event and watch it all, live with no interruptions. Guarantee your seats at the 92 games. Order early for the world's first triplecast. It's going to be quite a trip. Call this number now.
Everyone makes mistakes, Matthew. Don't pay any attention to the other children.
For this bright 6-year-old, the ABCs have never been as simple as ABC. Where do you go when you're different from the other kids? He got help at a Center for Learning Disabilities. They got help from the United Way. All because the United Way got help from you. The United Way. It brings out the best in all of us.
Today's cooking segment is brought to you by Kitchens by Dean, located in Stamford.
If you prize good design, value superior performance, and appreciate antique reproductions. Then you will recognize the elegant yet functional design that is the trademark of a kitchen by Dean. Reward yourself with a visit to their new showroom. Kitchens by Dean, located just off exit 9 of I-95 in Stamford.
Well, we're going to go bananas during our cooking segment today. With us right now is Tracy Ritter, formerly the executive chef at the Golden Door Spa. Very prestigious job. She is right now with Spa Chiquita, hence the bananas. Nice to have you with us.
Thank
Boy,
you.
the Golden Door was one of the real breakthrough healthy places in America
Yes,
back
it
in the
is.
70s.
Sure.
And you were working there, huh?
Yes, I was. For 3
Well, what's
years.
on the agenda today, Tracy?
Well, today we're dealing with bananas, the Chiquita banana. What I did was I developed a brochure for them using the banana to make 13 different recipes. You'll see we made brownies.
Banana brownies.
Bananas.
Wow.
Quesadillas.
And they're brown. They're brown banana brownies.
Yes, sure. What I'm doing is I'm using the banana as a fat substitute.
Does that really work?
Sure
No,
it
the reason I
does.
say that
Sure.
a lot of times I try to avoid butter as much as possible. And my co-host on the show, who's a chef, said it just never works the
Doesn't
same
taste the
as
same.
butter. So I'm very anxious to see, what would you like to make today?
Okay. Well, I agree with you. At times there are when butter cannot be substituted. But in these recipes, what we've done is a real good job, I think, of replacing the fat. So,
With bananas?
With bananas.
Well, I'm all for
So-
it, so let's see what we can make.
well, I'm going to make a vinaigrette with using the banana in the blender. So,
So bananas are so good for you, too. High source of potassium, is that
Right.
it?
very high source
I know
of
about these
potassium.
things, I just have to do them.
One of the best, actually one of the highest sources
Yeah.
of potassium. We're going to be making this, the honey cumin Chiquita banana vinaigrette.
Okay.
Okay.
So all it is in the blender, it's the banana, mustard, cumin, vinegar, water, and it's blended up, and the banana acts as the oil. So that's
do you
the
want to
fat
make this
substitute.
now, or just?
Do you want to make it? Sure.
Well, I'm just curious.
Okay, it's one
All right,
medium
am I
banana.
missing this, though? Do bananas have a high fat content, or no? They
no,
just give you
they're
that...
99.5% fat-free. It's the texture, the creaminess.
Okay.
You could break that up a little.
Oh, I thought the blender would do that job, but okay, Tracy, you're the chef.
We have to
I'm
give
just-
it a chance.
I'm just
Okay.
Bill. Okay, fine.
A little water, Bill.
Water? This.
We're going to whip you into shape,
Here,
Bill.
there's a little water right
Okay,
there.
about half that amount
Half
will do.
this, okay.
This is
a
the way to
vinaigrette
cook.
made with banana, and then
Right. Some mustard. You can just
some
put-
mustard.
Sure. Isn't this how you cook at home? Maybe two
I
or
have
three of
never-
those?
Now, you have to be
I
honest,
like that.
Bill. Have you
Maybe
ever
2 or
put
3.
mustard and bananas together?
No.
No.
I
think of
like
the-
mustard, but
With
good
bananas.
question. You know, here, I'm just ladling it in. Oh, yeah, mustard and bananas. Why are we putting mustard with the bananas?
Think of the banana in this case as oil.
Oil.
Because when you blend it up, it
All
gives
right.
it the same
That
little
makes sense.
vinegar.
Next,
Vinegar?
a little vinegar.
A little more. Okay.
Okay.
This is cumin, ground cumin seeds.
How much cumin seed are we encouraged to put in?
Oh, about a teaspoon. You want to
Yeah.
measure?
Just this is when she
Because
gets
you're
tough
going to
on me.
eat it, you're going to have to make sure it's
All
right,
right,
here.
that's 2
I
of
don't
those.
think most people measure at home.
Okay.
Okay, and blend it up.
All right, now we'll see if it's plugged in. At which speed would we like? Pulse, blend?
That would be fine, sure. I think they're basically all the same.
You know, you're very agreeable for a chef. Is that enough?
Now we have to blend into the dressing.
All right. It looks more like a banana milkshake than a salad dressing,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Tracy.
I don't know, Tracy.
It's good, it's great.
All right.
Carry it in a bowl. Okay. That should do it. Okay, now like any good chef, you want to taste it first.
Ooh,
In
boy,
case
you're
you
a
have
brave man.
To adjust
You know what
it a little.
I always hate on talk shows all these years is the eating shot. You
No, I
they're going to get a close-up
Oh, yeah,
of
when
it.
the food's hanging out of your mouth.
That's weird.
It
What
has
does
to be.
it
It
mean?
looks weird.
I cannot lie. I took a vow, 1990. I will not lie this year. This is not good. This is odd.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
Oh,
No, wait a second. It's
There's
supposed
no guarantee. I'm not supposed to. Ooh.
Oh, no,
It's
that
supposed to
can't
go
be.
over
It tastes
lettuce.
like mustard
That
and
can't-
bananas.
No,
It does. Well, you had me make it.
that's true. That's true.
Did I miss something? Am I missing?
Let me try. Maybe we are.
Is this a cooking segment crisis? Does it always work out well?
No. No.
What would Dave have done in that circumstance?
No, you're missing a little more cumin.
Oh, see. All right, listen.
Listen, not too bad.
I'll tell you what we'll do. Oh, and some of this stuff too, sure.
There you go.
Now we try it again. How much time do we have here?
I think what we're going to do is take a break.
All right, we'll take a break.
Then we'll come back.
To get a copy of our Spa Chiquita recipe, send a self-addressed stamped business-size envelope to Exchange Recipes, 28 Cross Street, Norwalk, Connecticut, zip code 06851, and put Spa Chiquita on the outside of the envelope. Thanks.
Today's cooking segment has been brought to you by Kitchens by Dean, located in Stamford.
Now, in all honesty, I just tasted it again, and it's
Tracy
better.
Doctored it up a little bit.
Yeah, what doctored? Yeah, it has a cumin taste coming through right now.
Yes, that's what it's supposed to taste like.
Thank you.
The banana is just the sweetness behind it.
It works very summery.
Tracy.
Very summery.
I'm never coming back to the show again.
Tracy, thank you very much. So you should have made it yourself. You're the chef. I'm just the bill.
I know. You did very well.
Okay, thank you. Tomorrow on the program we have taking a look at menopause.
Menopause. Also, a different book that's going to be, it just has come out. She says how women communicate differently than men do, and how perhaps if that's a gap in your relationships, how you can change it.
And yet another book making fun of Vice President Quayle. That guest will be on the show tomorrow.
And we have Alan Orr. He's going to give us a review of a new movie that has just come out. And you know, I hate to say it, but we didn't even give you a chance to make your quesadilla that you had brought along. And what about sampling these brownies? Bill, I know that Tracy can win you back.
Oh, you have to try them.
Actually, no, I'm one back with the improved.
Are you?
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't lie about that.
No. All right, let's see about this.
Good.
Is that good?
I have brownie all over my teeth, but now it's quite good. Excellent, thank you.
Is that good? And then the quesadilla is also, I guess, what would you use the banana for with the quesadilla?
The banana is just a flavoring. It takes the place of avocado.
Different ideas. Low in fat, good for you. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Thanks for joining.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Sorry to talk with my mouth full. See you tomorrow.
Are these good?